everyone, welcome to Nana's Tiny Kitchen. Today I'm going to be doing something pretty cool. Little lasagna roll-ups. Now this is a really cool idea if you're cooking for a family and you have a couple of fussy eaters in your family, which pretty much we all do. They're like, I don't want the meat, or I don't like ricotta. So when you do these little individual roll-ups, you can kind of customize them. And I find them a lot easier to serve. So let's get to it. First, we're going to work on our breadcrumbs. Now, you know, if you watch my other videos, I do not buy store-bought breadcrumbs. I make my own. I'm going to take two large pieces of bread. This is just straight up sourdough bread. It does not change the flavor in your breadcrumbs. And I like to use the fresh bread because it eliminates that step of soaking them in the milk, because the bread is nice and moist. You don't need to do that. So we're going to get our breadcrumbs all seasoned up and then add them to our meat. All right, so I got a large clove of garlic. Actually, where's my knife? I'm a little disorganized today because I got minestrone soup going on in the background. So yeah, so I'm just going to slice this up just a little bit and throw this right in there. Then I'm going to take some Romano cheese and put it right in there. I want to say, if you were measuring out tablespoons, let me grab a tablespoon just so I can, excuse me being off camera. Yeah, it would probably be about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half of cheese that's going in there. I like a lot of cheese. Just saying. And I'm going to grab some basil. Now this is mixed with my fresh basil because I dried out some. A nice portion of basil. And some oregano. I want to say a little bit less than a half a teaspoon of oregano and about a teaspoon of basil. Okay, what else do we want in there? Some salt. You start with a quarter teaspoon of salt. If you don't taste it or think you need more, then you can always add more. It's better to do it that way than to have too much. A little black pepper. Probably about a little less than a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. And what else do I want? Oh, a little fresh parsley. The reason I'm using parsley this time, which I normally don't, is because I'm using ground Italian hot sausage to make the meat sauce. You can use straight up ground beef if you want to. You could use ground turkey if that's your flavor. Okay, let's get these pounded down and give it the taste test. Okay, it looks like it's nice and mixed together. I can see all my herbs in there, so let me give it a quick taste. That's really good. I do it this way before I add it to my meat because you can't really taste raw meat. I have to wait until the pieces are cooked in order to give it the taste. So if you know the flavors are all in your breadcrumbs, you know your meat's going to be just fine. I'm going to drizzle some olive oil in a pan. This pan's already been heating up. I have a pound of ground Italian hot sausage. You can use the sweet if you want. I'm going to add my breadcrumbs and 1 egg that I beat up. So I'm going to dig right in here and get it all mixed together. We're going to throw it in the fry pan and get it nice and grounded up. All right, this is pretty much browned up the way that I want it. I chopped up a small onion, probably the equivalent of half of a really small onion. No, actually 1 small onion went in here. And that's being sauteed with the meat. I also ground up 1 clove of garlic, which is it within the meat. Now I'm going to add I'm going to make a little hole in the middle here and put in about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I always buy tomato paste in the tube because it's easier. If you don't use the whole thing, you don't have to transfer it to anything. You just put the cap back on it and stick it back in the fridge. Let's get this stirred up. When you start to smell the tomato paste, the aroma, oh my God, I can't stand myself. Okay, now I'm going to add my sauce. Now this is my sauce from the garden, but if you wanted to go and buy 2 cans of your favorite sauce, crushed tomato or peeled tomato, plum tomato, and just give them a couple of zaps in the blender or your processor to get them nice and smooth. You don't want this sauce to be chunky. Okay, I'm going to give this a little rinse. Good to the last drop. Wow, out of my 42 jars of sauce, I'm down to, I think, was it 19? I better stop. Okay, stir this up nice. Oh, delicious. Now this is going to go for about an hour covered on low. But before that, I'm going to hit it with some herbs. A little bit of oregano. Good ½ teaspoon of oregano. Throw in some fresh basil, and my basil looks like this because when I have the plant in the summertime, I break the leaves off and I stick it in the freezer. So when you take it out, it gets mushy, but it's still good. I'm going to put plenty of that in here. And it looked like about a teaspoon. Now, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of salt, about ½ teaspoon of salt. Okay, what am I missing? Oh, I know what I'm missing. What did I do with the bottle? Hold on a minute. Little bit of wine. Give it a nice swirl, not too much. And if you want to have a glass on the side for yourself, that's your business. For me, it's a little early. And last but not least, the rind of either the Parmesan or the Romano cheese. You drop it right in the sauce and let it cook with the sauce. Give it a good stir. Where's my tablespoon thing? Do I have it around here? I'm going to measure out a little bit of sugar in this, since I have the tablespoon thing. About a ½ tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. You don't have to add the sugar if you don't want to. I just like to. Between the wine and a little bit of sugar, it gives it a nice flavor. And like I said, this is the hot Italian sausage, but you can use sweet, you can use ground beef, you can use ground turkey, whatever you want. I mean, it's not going to taste like this if you use something else, but it'll still be good. All right, now I need a cover for this. Tiny kitchen. Like I said, it's going to go on low, and this will go for an hour. And then we'll boil up our lasagna noodles, and I'll show you how to get them all rolled up and put them in the oven to bake. All right, here we go. I started making some ahead of time because it is kind of messy, but if you, like I said, if you have really picky eaters in your family, you can customize each one of these rolls, and this way you don't have to hear, I don't like the meat, or I don't want ricotta in mine. You know, you can mix and match and whatever. And to mark them, just stick a toothpick in the ones that are different. Okay, I rolled up a couple of them just so I can get the hang of it, because like I said, it is a little messy. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see, first of all. So I got 2 pieces here that I put out on a pan. You want to make sure that they're on the dry side, not wet and slippery, otherwise it's really hard to roll them. And you get a little teaspoon and you start putting your sauce on it, right in the center. You want it about 1 inch away from the edge. And you know what? It's going to fall out the sides. That's what you have thumbs for. Just shove it right back in. A couple of nice pieces of meat in there. Gorgeous. Then we take a little bit of ricotta. We kind of mix it in there. Like that. And then we take some mozzarella cheese. Put your pieces in there. Now I tried doing like strips on the side or going this way, and this is just the best way to do it. You can put as much or as little as you want. Then take a little Parmigiano Romano cheese right in the middle. And now you're going to roll. Just lift up a little bit as you roll. Tuck and roll. And like I said, if stuff starts coming out, you grab it and you place it right in your dish. Now the dish, I already put some sauce on the bottom to give it a nice bed so they don't stick. So let's get another one. In the meantime, my oven is heating at 375, and these are going to go in the center rack for about 30 to 35 minutes. Want them flat. It's a little time consuming to do it this way, but you know what? If you have those picky eaters in your family, would you rather listen to it at the dinner table or take an extra couple of minutes to do it special? And I find it easier to serve this way as well. This one, I think I went a little heavy-handed with the sauce. Again, a little bit of ricotta. Get it in there, not too much. Some mozzarella. And some grated cheese. Don't buy your cheese out of the container. Buy your cheese whole. You get more bang for your buck, and it actually tastes a lot better. And again, we're going to go over, lift, and just roll it. Just roll it. And like I said, if it starts coming out the sides, just tuck it back in. If it starts coming out the bottom, just tuck it back in. Grab the whole piece and put it right in there. You get quite a bit of pieces out of here. I mean, I should at least be able to get 10. Okay. All right, I'm going to get the rest of these rolled up. And then we'll go from there. I finished rolling up the rest of them, so there you go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some sauce, go over the top. Are you kidding me? No, it's beautiful. Oh. I'm getting chills thinking about this. So bad, so bad. And now I'm going to take some cheese, some mozzarella cheese, and go over the top of each one of them. As much or as little as you want. Don't be cheap. In my opinion, cheese should be its own food group. And I want to make sure the edges have sauce. Whoop. Escapey a little. There we go. Get the sauce in the edge. There we go. And now I'm going to take some grated cheese, Parmesan or Romano. I prefer Nonna's house, so I use Romano. Now I'm going to get a piece of foil to cover this. And it's going to bake in the oven, like I said, on 375 for at least 35 minutes. There we go. And if I take it out and it still looks like it needs more time, take the foil off. Or if you want a little bit crispy on the lasagna edges, because some people like it that way, take the foil off, about 10 or 15 minutes before it's ready to come out, and you'll have that little bit of crispiness. Okay. Okay, here we go, everyone. This is my favorite part. All right. This was 35 minutes. At 375, I actually took the foil off probably the last 10 minutes of it, and just to make sure that the mozzarella was cooking through and everything was coming along the way it should. Now I let it sit for a couple of minutes because in these plates, in these dishes, they tend to still cook. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Now I'm going to get myself a little fork so I can give it the taste test. Because you know it's going to be bad. Just warning myself. Now, you don't have to cook it this way if you don't want to. You can make the straight up lasagna. I gave you the sauce recipe. If you don't want to do the whole roll up thing, do a traditional flat out. That's delicious. Okay, try it. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Sorry, talking with my mouth full. If you like the channel, please like and share, subscribe. It really makes me feel great to hear all the comments about the recipes and stuff. I love that you're trying it. I love that it inspires you to cook or get back into your kitchen. You don't even have to do it the way I do it, but just get in your kitchen and start cooking some food. What else are you doing? Come on, let's go. Let's make some good food. Till next time, everyone. Ciao.